From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 4:30.
Now at 4:30, daunting damage facing communities around Lincoln as they deal with the aftermath of damaging storms earlier today. Plus, Banana Battle, the highly anticipated baseball game at Lincoln's Haymarket Park tonight. We're getting you set up for the big game. And pushing pause, the sudden new turn in the war with Iran after a major escalation. What the president is now saying tonight about the state of talks. We begin, though, with the stunning aftermath of severe weather in Lincoln this morning. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Rod Fowler. The communities in and around Lincoln are now recovering and picking up from the impact of powerful storms striking across the area. Massive damage seen all around town, including a tree resting on a house. Our morning news anchor, Andrew Ward, paints the picture for us tonight.
A closer look here at the scene at Kearney Avenue and Tuzlin Avenue. This video showing a tree on the roof and branches and debris all around the home. LFR telling us one person had to be taken to the hospital after they were pinned inside when the limb fell. The person is expected to be okay. More damage sent to us. Another tree limb down here at 75th Street and Pioneers Boulevard. Our viewer Jackie says they just paid more than $250 for an ash borer injection too. And over at 74th and Colfax this morning, take a look at this tree ripped from the ground and leaning up against a home. Thank you to Kathy, our viewer, for sending that in. Meanwhile, hail falling right as we came on the air during our morning show. Citizen journalist Brian says he saw about dime-sized hail near 33rd and Old Cheney. Over in Aurora, citizen journalist Kelly showing us pea-sized hail as the storms blew through central Nebraska. But the torrential rain may have made the largest impact. Citizen journalist Parween sending us this video to our Now Local News app. Almost a waterfall also coming off of our Channel 8 roof this morning. The rain overwhelming the gutter. When it was all done, our viewers sharing us the aftermath.
Well, we got right at 2 inches of rain through that storm that went through.
Citizen journalist Dennis out by Ceresco showing us several inches of rain. For Channel 8 News, I'm Andrew Ward.
And a calm and quiet day now after that chaotic morning. What's our evening look like? Let's turn to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Hey, Rusty.
Yeah, I want to look at the rainfall totals first because they're a little significant in some spots. Half an inch to an inch, all the way to 2, almost 3 inches. And this area right here likely did see 2 or 3 inches of rainfall. No sensors in between there that I have loaded up, but about 1.5 inches in Lincoln, inch in Omaha, and about 0.6 in Nebraska City. Headed to that Savannah baseball game tonight. It is going to be a gorgeous night for Savannah Banana Ball. 78 degrees by 6 p.m. Plenty of sunshine and down into middle 60s. With mostly clear skies by the end of the night. In fact, mostly clear skies out there right now. Not much going on around here. There is a red flag warning through Friday evening for the western portions of Nebraska, including all of the Panhandle. They need rain. That's all there is to it. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, just a gorgeous day. Honda of Lincoln Chem looking a little bit of a breeze, and 80 degrees with that northwest wind at 14 miles per hour. A lot of 60s, 70s, and 80s out there. Do we have any more rain in the forecast? That's coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Rusty. Now let's take a peek at the roads around town right here. This is a live look at 48th and Cornhusker Highway. As you can see, a very busy part of town right now with all that construction going on. And yeah, one of those areas you should pack your patience if you're traveling through on your way home from work or to get to work. Some mixed messages from President Trump on the war with Iran. He's saying negotiations are going well while vowing to hit the country hard. ABC's Karen Travers has more from the White House.
After threatening this morning that the U.S. would be hitting Iran, quote, very hard tonight, President Trump now walking that back, writing on social media that he was canceling planned strikes after what he said were high-level discussions with Iran. The president doesn't say what, if anything, was approved by Iran. Iranian state media reporting that Iran has not signed off on any agreement. Earlier Thursday, the president threatening a potential escalation in the war, telling Fox News he would like to take Iran's Karg Island.
I don't want to have boots on the ground, but if I wanted to, we could put a small group of soldiers and take over the whole place.
Karg Island is key to Iran's oil refinery infrastructure and economy. Experts warn a mission on that island would put American forces at risk.
Once on the island, these ground troops would be subject to hundreds of Iranian strike systems.
Trump's threats follow the most heated rounds of bombing since the U.S. and Iran agreed to a ceasefire back in April. The U.S. targeting Iranian air defenses, surveillance, and communication systems. And Iran launching retaliatory strikes, firing missiles at U.S. bases in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan. Nearly all of the missiles were intercepted, but there was damage on the ground in Bahrain. Meanwhile, CENTCOM releasing video of missiles it fired at a tanker in the Gulf of Oman, saying it was violating the U.S. by attempting to transport Iranian oil, the third commercial ship disabled by the U.S. this week. 3 Indian sailors aboard another oil tanker were killed in a U.S. strike, according to India's foreign ministry. Family members of one of the sailors sobbing, a grandfather saying, "My heart is dead."
The continuing incidents of attacks on shipping in the region are deeply worrisome.
President Trump has claimed an agreement with Iran is fully negotiated. But as for why it's not a done deal, he's accused Iran of tapping along the United States. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Definitely a reason to clap today. Stocks soared as the president suggesting a deal with Iran is close. The Dow up 930 points, NASDAQ jumping 640, and the S&P 500 up 127 points. Also, oil prices fell today. Brent crude down $3 a barrel at $84. Developing now, the NU Board of Regents is set to consider a tuition increase for students. The board releasing its agenda this morning for next week's meeting. It says they're going to consider a 4.25% tuition increase for students across the system. In a press release, the board says it received much less money from the state than it requested. That was 3.5%. The university says it will also need extra money to continue funding scholarship programs and other priority projects. In a statement sent to us this morning, Dr. Jeffrey Gold says he does not take this decision to increase tuition lightly. The NU president says, quote, "We strive to deliver an extraordinary educational experience for each of our students, and the budget the board is set to consider reflects that commitment." We'll be at next week's meeting. We'll let you know what happens on air and, of course, on our Now Local News app. Well, happening tonight, the much anticipated Savannah Bananas are set to hit Haymarket Park. In fact, in just a couple of hours. Channel 8 Sports Director Nate Johnson is getting us ready for the game. Nate?
Oh, hey, what's going on? It's Nate Johnson rocking with you. The Savannah Bananas are in town. It's the first time ever Banana Ball will take to the fields of Lincoln. Our first pitch is going to be later tonight at 7 p.m. We'll have more coming up later today at 5 and 6 p.m. But pretty exciting stuff that the Savannah Bananas are in town here in Lincoln. And again, we're going to have more later today on Channel 8.
And for the game at Haymarket Park, the festival lot is now open there. On Saturday for the game at Memorial Stadium, the premium parking garage and gate 4, they're going to open at noon with the festival lot opening at 1. All parking is first come, first served. So officials recommend you arrive early. For parking directions, visit the links we mentioned tab on KLKNTV.com. Well, don't go anywhere. We have much more for you tonight, including a worrying spike in prices, new inflation numbers showing a gloomy economic atmosphere, and what it means for daily spending in the U.S. And then,
we're going to win in 2026.
Signed and submitted, Dan Osborne officially takes a swing for the U.S. Senate race. Hear what his priorities are and what his direct opponent is saying. That's coming up all new at 5 o'clock. And don't forget, Game 5 of the NBA Finals is on Saturday night from San Antonio as the Spurs look to fend off a defeat from the Knicks. That tips off right here at ABC on Channel 8 at 7:30. We'll be right back.
I'm Roy
Right now, we're seeing some new numbers on inflation, and it's causing some concern. The newest report coming with numbers at a record high. It's confirming the cost of a lot of everyday goods is on the rise. ABC's Armando Garcia tells us how it's impacting people all over the country.
New inflation numbers out this morning showing what we're all seeing. The Labor Department today reports its Producer Price Index, which gauges wholesale inflation, jumped 6.5% from May 2025 and rising 1.1% from April.
The big question is, do these companies absorb higher costs, especially when you're thinking about energy and food? Or is there a world where companies say these are just too tight of margins for us and we're going to start passing them down to consumers?
Inflation at the consumer level now reaching 4.2%, the highest level in 3 years.
Prices going up in the grocery store, gas prices, soaring.
The typical American household now spending an extra $510 in fuel expenses since the beginning of the war and nearly $300 extra on goods compared to last year. President Trump's comments yesterday now coming under fire after he was asked if he's concerned about the inflation rate.
No, I love it. The numbers were great. You know what I really love? I love the inflation rate.
The president later attempting to clean up his comments, saying he was referring to what inflation will be after the war ends.
It's going to come down like a rock.
And adding more pressure on Americans, inflation is now outpacing American wages, paychecks just growing 3.4% over the past year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Armando Garcia, ABC News, New York.
And now let's take a closer look at our evening forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Rusty, is it going to be a little quieter than it was early this morning?
It woke a lot of us up this morning. It's a rude awakening when hail is hitting your roof and you're like, no, stop it. But today, not bad. Lots of sunshine out there now. Temperatures in the middle and upper 70s to around 80 degrees. 82 is the warm spot in Beatrice and Falls City. Dew points a little lower too. 40s, 50s, some 60s still lingering in Nebraska City and Falls City, but most of us in the middle and upper 40s to around 50. That'll do. Temperature-wise, we're looking at the middle 50s by early tomorrow morning, so almost a chill in the air with those low dew points and cooler temperatures. Open up those windows and enjoy the free air conditioning, because we all know what's probably right around the corner, especially this time of year. The wind, also not going to be an issue. You're looking at less than 10 miles per hour for a good portion of the night. Wind gusts may be a little up there the next couple of hours, but that diminishes, especially as we get past sunset. Outside right now, cloud cover to the north, just kind of a hiccup in the satellite there real quick. Some false return around the radar site there near Grand Island. When I'm pointing out false return, that usually means some good things. We're not seeing much of anything. I've been gone for a week, and this road is still not open. I need to call someone. That's, I mean, it's just, this is exactly what it looked like a week ago. We got to be close. I keep saying that too, so maybe we're not. Maybe it'll be next year. I don't know. I'm starting to give up hope. Precipitation, speaking of hope, after some rainfall, about 1.5 inches last night, we're still a little behind by about 2 inches, but we're trying to catch up. It's like we get caught up and then no rain for like a solid week, so we fall behind again, and then we do that again over and over and over again. So we'll see what we can do. But temperatures over the last 24 hours, it was hot yesterday, middle 90s, and then we dropped into the middle 60s and only mustered an 80-degree mark, so a solid 15 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago. Falling back through the 70s into the 60s by about 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and a little bit of a wind. Where's everything at? It's well off to our east. Look at that, a big line of storms from Oklahoma all the way through Missouri into parts of western Illinois and Wisconsin, and then even some severe thunderstorm watches over Pennsylvania. But for us, just pretty quiet, just mostly clear skies. And we did have a few clouds earlier. Stormcast doesn't have much of anything. In fact, I think by early tomorrow, or late tonight into early tomorrow morning, that's about it. You're looking at temperatures generally in the 60s. Temperatures right now, though, very comfortable, around 80 degrees in the capital city.
Let's take a look at some of the roads around Lincoln. This is a live view of 70th and South Streets. Not a whole lot going on there. Pretty smooth sailing on this Thursday night. New at 4:30, Go Raw is expanding its voluntary recall of freeze-dried chicken pet food. The recall now includes an additional lot of freeze-dried chicken recipe that is branded Steve's Real Food. The problem is the food, which is for both dogs and cats, may contain low levels of what they call thiamine. Now, both animals need it to survive, though cats are more susceptible to thiamine deficiency. The condition could be life-threatening, but you'd likely notice symptoms long before that. They include weight loss, vomiting, wobbling, walking, and falling. New details now as health officials battle the rise of screwworm cases. Today, the USDA releasing sterile flies in South Texas in response to the 7 cases of the New World screwworm. It's part of federal officials' pest control efforts. Cases have been found in Texas and New Mexico, impacting 5 cattle, 1 goat, and a dog. Egg experts say Americans can continue to feel confident about consuming beef safely. Time now for a look at what's trending at KLKNTV.com. Here's Channel 8's Mark Fisher.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Mark Fisher, and we're back with another segment of what's trending on KLKNTV.com. First up, severe storms caused a tree to fall into a home in North Lincoln early Thursday morning, pinning at least 1 person inside. Lincoln Fire and Rescue responded to the scene near Tuzlin Avenue and Kearney Avenue just before 5 a.m. on Thursday. LFR said 1 person had to be rescued from inside the home. LFR said 1 person had to be taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Also getting clicks, 2 people were arrested on Monday following an investigation into a synthetic mushroom products being sold at a local smoke shop. As part of the investigation, the sheriff's office issued cease and desist letters in November 2025 to multiple smoke shops in Lancaster County selling the products. In January, investigators purchased additional products from Cloud9 Smoke Shop located near 11th and G Streets. The products were sent to a lab for testing and, despite a previous warning, tested positive for the synthetic mushroom. On Monday, authorities arrested 44-year-old Mariza Meskin and 38-year-old Khalil Meskin, both employees of the smoke shop, who were involved in the sale of the products. Both were arrested on suspicion of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance. You can read about these stories and much more on our website at KLKNTV.com. But for now, we'll see everybody tomorrow with more trending stories.
Also trending, Red Lobster is giving away a steel card that gives its holder a free endless shrimp meal once a month for 25 years. The chain says the winner will also get a biometric safe and a year of jiu-jitsu classes. Interesting combination there. Now, Rusty, if you don't care so much for shellfish and martial arts, you can opt for $15,000 in cash instead. All you have to do is leave a comment under one of their posts and tag a friend. Coming up next, game on. The Soccer World Cup gets underway in Mexico. The thrill and excitement happening here in the U.S. as the tournament comes to America for the first time in decades. The U.S. playing tomorrow. And coming up, all new at 5 o'clock, a massive wildfire rapidly gaining more territory in western Nebraska. How crews are racing to contain it and officials rushing to keep everyone safe. And another epic Stanley Cup final game is on Channel 8 tonight. The Carolina Hurricanes and Vegas Golden Knights are tied at 2 games apiece. The critical Game 5 is this evening. The puck drops at 7 right here on Channel 8. FIFA World Cup is finally underway, and here in the U.S., the excitement reaching sky high. It's been more than 30 years since North America hosted the World Cup, and now, for the first time ever, the U.S., Mexico, and Canada get to co-host the expanded tournament with games spread out over 16 cities. ABC's Christiane Cordero is outside the Los Angeles Coliseum.
Team Mexico is a whole 1,800 miles away from where we're standing right now here in Los Angeles. But you would have no idea, based on the energy of the people who have showed up to support that team and to really kick things off right here at the FIFA 2026 World Cup. LA's a host city. It's hosting tomorrow, but the crowds are out today in large part to support Team Mexico. We know there's a huge Mexican-American population here in LA. But tomorrow, all eyes will turn to the match between the U.S. and Team Paraguay as they kick things off here in the U.S. at what is expected to be an exciting tournament from beginning to end. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Los Angeles.
I know a lot of people in the newsroom very excited about soccer and what's going to happen tomorrow with the U.S. We're excited now to go to Rusty to get a check on the weather.
And if you're like me, I, for the longest time, just couldn't wrap my head around soccer. Just didn't understand it, didn't enjoy it, whatever. Then I found someone else that really enjoys it and started watching the games with them. Then it started to make sense. It just, I wasn't sure what to root for, what to be excited about. And now I'm a fan. It's a lot of fun. Temperatures in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We're in the 80s in Hebron, Lincoln, Omaha, 77, 78 in Nebraska City. So only a couple of 80s out there. Just about everybody much cooler than we should be this time of year. Speaking of cool, look at this, 40s and 50s for temperatures early tomorrow morning. 48 in Valentine, Broken Bow, North Platte, Oglala, 46 in Scottsbluff and Sydney. But eastern Nebraska should be in the middle, maybe the upper 50s. Highs tomorrow, I think for Friday, we're looking at 82, 83, 84 degrees. A lot of 80s out there. I think we start to warm up a little bit, especially a little further west, where you're looking at 86, 87, maybe even some 90s. A lot of blue sky out there in our Aurora Cam. The wind is blowing the flags around just a little bit, just enough to make them look cool. Stormcast, not a whole lot going on as we head through tonight into early Friday morning. Maybe a few clouds as we head into Friday afternoon, and that's about it. So mostly clear to partly cloudy skies as we head through your Friday into Friday evening. So overall, we're looking at a couple of different things here. Chance for some rain, maybe some thunderstorms as we head into the day on Saturday, and temperatures trying to remain mild. So we'll have more details on the storm threat on Saturday coming up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, then again at 10.
Thank you, Rusty. Let's show you one busy Lincoln Street before we leave you on this 4:30 newscast. This is a live look at 48th and O right now. You know, I know years ago, Rusty, 48th and O was ranked by the city as the busiest intersection in the capital city. I wonder if it still is.
Has to be.
I'm sure it still ranks in the top 5 or so. That's going to do it for our newscast here. Join us in just a few minutes. I'll be right back here for you for our 5 o'clock newscast. See you then.
Come see us at our new South Point location. Locally owned, comfort-made mattress factory, handcrafted, built right here, and backed with a lifetime comfort guarantee.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, South Fork flames.
We are showing 5% containment on it, and it's in this area is where that containment exists.
The new wildfire in northwestern Nebraska doubles in size. What precautions officials are advising people in the area to take? Also tonight, retracting strikes. President Trump says the U.S. will strike and take control of Karg Island, then says he will not strike. Where the president stands now in his attack plans for Iran. Also, Osborne's opponents.
I'm not going to do corporate bidding when I get into office.
Dan Osborne officially files to be on the ballot in November. What he says about the parties running against him. And Banana Bonanza. Banana Ball is here in Lincoln. What the competition everyone's been waiting for will look like. That's right, a massive sporting event is happening tonight at Haymarket Park. Banana Ball is hitting the grandest baseball stage here in Lincoln. We're hours away from the first pitch. Citizen journalist Brian sending this video into the Now Local News app saying gear is going quickly. Everyone's getting in on the Savannah Banana Madness. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rod Fowler. Good to have you with us. The greatest party in sports is in town, and Channel 8 is in attendance. Let's get right over to Sports Director Nate Johnson. He joins us live from Haymarket Park ahead of the first pitch tonight. How's it going out there, Nate?
Hey, thank you, Rod. Like you said, we're still a little ways out from first pitch, but the stage is being set here at Haymarket Park. A reminder for fans coming to the show tonight, the first pitch is at 7 p.m. With the pre-show beginning at 6:30. And you can see behind me right now, it's backstage with the Banana Ball. They're meeting the firefighters and the Banana Ball team. So maybe you haven't heard of Banana Ball. If you have, maybe you haven't experienced it. I, for one, have never experienced Banana Ball in person. So for those who haven't, here's a little quick rundown on a few of the rules that make this a little bit different than your usual baseball game. The goal, though, is really to try and involve the fans as much as possible. And one of the rules that highlights this event, if a fan catches a foul ball, that's considered an out. Kind of like that. Also, fans can challenge calls on the field. Now, there are 9 other unique rules that help set Banana Ball apart, all of which add to what makes it such an exciting and fast-paced experience, along with, a unique in-game moments. A lot to be excited for. Both tonight's game and Saturday's at Memorial Stadium are already sold out as Banana Ball makes its debut here in Nebraska. We'll have a lot more to talk about coming up in the Sports Zone. For now, though, Rod will send things back over to you.
All right. Thank you, Nate. And for the game at Haymarket Park tonight, the festival lot there is open for Saturday's game at Memorial Stadium. The premium parking garage and gate 4 open at noon, with the festival lot opening at 1. All parking is first come, first served. So officials recommend you arrive early. For parking directions, visit the links we mentioned tab on KOKNTV.com. Breaking now, charges have been dropped against the man accused of killing a Nebraska state trooper. This all stemming from a mistrial on Monday for Thomas Jordan, accused of motor vehicle homicide of Trooper Kyle McCasey. McCasey was hit and killed February last year. The Cass County Attorney's Office informing Channel 8 of the case dismissal not long ago here. They say after a complete review of the case, talking with family members, and discussions with jurors, they decided to dismiss the charges against Jordan. Let's get a look at your first forecast on this Thursday night. You are taking a live look outside through our tower cam after a busy early morning of storms. Things are a lot quieter and a lot sunnier now. Are we in the clear for the moment? We just saw Nate's live shot. We got the Savannah Bananas. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins for folks heading out there tonight. How's it look?
Not too shabby at all. In fact, if there was ever a really almost perfect night for baseball, tonight would probably be the night. We've got temperatures that are going to be comfortable, humidity low, wind low, and plenty of sunshine. 78 degrees, mostly sunny by 6 p.m., 75 and mostly sunny by 8, and 66 degrees as we head towards 10 p.m. Precipitation-wise, though, we did see quite a bit of it. We have anywhere from half an inch to an inch and a half to almost 2 inches of rain further east. Quite a bit of rain for some folks out there. Good day for a walk, I agree. Whoever that was. 6th and Perkins in Beatrice, the Shones roofing cam looking at lots and lots of sunshine and 81 degrees. A wind gust at 24 though, so a little on the breezy side. That wind will start to die down as we head through the next few hours. Just a few clouds between Lincoln and Beatrice. Those are headed east and dissolving away. A few clouds in north central and northwest Nebraska. Temperature wise though, 60s, 70s, and barely 80 degrees in Lincoln. The only 80 on the map right now. Dew points are nice and low. Look at that, 40s for dew points. That'll do. A little bit of a northwest breeze at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, those temperatures dropping into the upper 50s by early tomorrow morning. More on that forecast as we head through the rest of the week and into the weekend in the full forecast.
Thank you, Rusty. And with this morning's storms being so powerful, the city of Lincoln is directing people to where they can report storm damage. They're saying to contact Lincoln Police's non-emergency line for debris that you see in streets and sidewalks. Also call the city forest section for damage to public trees and LES for downed power lines. It was an early wake-up call for everyone, especially our citizen journalists sending in scenes like these of the storm into the Now Local News app. Did you make it through the night without being woken up by the thunder, the winds, and the hail? Well, Channel 8's Andrew Ward looks at the damage left behind.
A closer look here at the scene at Kearney Avenue and Tusalin Avenue. This video showing a tree on the roof and branches and debris all around the home. LFR telling us one person had to be taken to the hospital after they were pinned inside when the limb fell. The person is expected to be okay. More damage sent to us. Another tree limb down here at 75th Street and Pioneers Boulevard. Our viewer Jackie says they just paid more than $250 for an ash borer injection too. And over at 74th and Colfax this morning, take a look at this tree ripped from the ground and leaning up against a home. Thank you to Kathy, our viewer, for sending that in. Meanwhile, hail falling right as we came on the air during our morning show. Citizen journalist Brian says he saw about dime-sized hail near 33rd and Old Cheney. Over in Aurora, citizen journalist Kelly showing us pea-sized hail as the storms blew through central Nebraska. But the torrential rain may have made the largest impact. Citizen journalist Parween sending us this video to our Now Local News app. Almost a waterfall also coming off of our Channel 8 roof this morning. The rain overwhelming the gutter. When it was all done, our viewers sharing us the aftermath.
Well, we got right at 2 inches of rain through that storm that went through.
Citizen journalist Dennis out by Ceresco showing us several inches of rain. For Channel 8 News, I'm Andrew Ward.
And when severe weather happens, the Now Local News app is the place to be. You saw what all of our wonderful citizen journalists had to add to it. And our team here at Channel 8, giving you a live updates on weather conditions there first. Scan the QR code on your screen to download the Now Local News app for free. You can upload your videos of severe weather there as well, and we'll pay you to do that. Developing now, the South Fork wildfire is spreading. It has more than doubled in size since yesterday. NC Web updating its page today. They're reporting more than 23,000 acres burned at this point. This wildfire now being managed by several agencies and posing a serious threat to the people who live in that area. A Rocky Mountain Team 2 now joining the fight against the fires today. They were briefing people on the growth of the fire and the actions they're taking to try and slow it down. Channel 8's Meg West joins us here in the studio to break it down for us. Meg.
Good evening, Rod. The flames raging on. You can see as they just overtake that hillside and encroaching in on the road a little bit. Firefighters working tirelessly around the clock to try to get a handle on containment. The fire creeping up on roads, prompting some closures and evacuations. Both Fort Robinson State Park and Highway 20 are closed, with evacuation orders holding steady for areas north of Crawford. Well, a bright spot in all this, no new evacuations since yesterday. The operations team providing an update today on their ongoing efforts.
With these winds, I mean, they've been really tough, especially in the afternoon. It's been really wanting to help the fire to run. So hopefully if we can get edges secured, we won't see the big fire growth anymore.
The National Weather Service forecasting elevated fire weather conditions with high winds and low humidity, adding they expect those weather concerns to continue tomorrow. Chief Mike Reed says that they will continue mopping up the edges to prevent spread and try to limit growth, with their main focus being protecting structures and communities. In the studio, Meg West, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Meg. We wish them the best. Another big turn of events today in the war in Iran. Earlier this morning, President Trump was going to strike Iran, in his words, very hard and take control of Karg Island and Iran's oil and gas markets. Well, this afternoon, it's a different story. The president saying talks with Iranian leadership are bringing him to cancel the strikes. He says Iran's supreme leader is on board for a, quote, great settlement that could resolve the war and open the Strait of Hormuz, and that a deal could be signed very soon. Now, Iranian officials have not confirmed any progress on a deal and cast doubt on a potential agreement. Well, don't go anywhere. We have more heading your way right after the break and a new batch of stories in our 6 o'clock news, including tweaking tuition. The NU Board of Regents is set to talk about raising tuition at their next meeting. How much extra they're talking about charging students. And coming up after the break, on the ballot, Dan Osborne making public remarks while officially filing to be on the ballot this November. What message he has for the parties running against him. And don't forget, tonight at 7, the deadlock will be broken. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup is right here on Channel 8. The Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes tied 2-2. Who wins this pivotal game? You're not going to need to touch the dial on your TV. You can just stay with us to see it. We'll be right back. Breaking now, a beloved Nebraska brewery is ending operations effective immediately. Zipline Brewing Company releasing this statement not long ago. They've been in business for more than a decade now. Their operations, their tap room and beer lounge are all closing, but Zipline Tap and Grill is remaining open. They say they're going to evolve into a restaurant-focused organization. They want to thank everyone who have helped them along their journey with the brewery. New tonight, another candidate here in Nebraska taking a step forward in his campaign for U.S. Senate. Independent Dan Osborne starting his campaign in 2024 and is running against current Senator Pete Ricketts. Today marks an official next step in the race as it continues to heat up. Channel 8's Danielle Da Silva was there to hear what Osborne had to say. Danielle?
Rod, after collecting thousands of signatures, filling boxes just like this one, independent Dan Osborne has finally secured a spot on the 2026 ballot for the U.S. Senate. This morning, he described what this moment right now means to him. He explains how he got there while sharing a bit of what's to come.
It's certainly been a roller coaster of good times and bad times. Politics in 2026, it's very difficult, and it's very difficult on families. So, you know, first and foremost, I need to thank them, and certainly for our volunteers.
The former Navy vet and pro-union advocate thanking his supporters Thursday before submitting roughly 12,500 petition signatures to the state secretary's office, officially allowing him to join the ballot for U.S. Senate. Osborne says if elected, he'll focus on prioritizing working-class families, reforming retirement benefits, and starting a coalition
of Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, Independents under one roof. It's, you know, especially at a time where our country feels so divided.
Also creating a free market to combat what he calls a consolidation of power across industries, from healthcare to meat packing and even youth sports.
I'm not going to do corporate bidding when I get into office. So corporations, I obviously they have value, they create jobs, they create R&D, but ultimately at the end of the day, they shouldn't be able to give an unlimited amount of money to a candidate.
But his opposition, current Senator Pete Ricketts, questions Osborne's position on some of his planned policies.
But all his positions are the ones that are for the Democrats. So he would have voted to make sure that folks would be paying more, whether it was going to be Social Security folks. He would have voted against the tax on tips. He would have voted against the no tax on overtime.
Ricketts also bringing into question Osborne's take on guns.
He wants to take away your gun rights.
Osborne responding, saying some of his words on gun reform were taken out of context, and he fully supports the right of all Americans to bear arms. A heated debate as both candidates work to earn that vote from Nebraskans. And it's just the beginning of a new leg in this race. We'll be keeping you updated on air, online, and on the local news app. Reporting live from the studio, Danielle De Silva, Channel 8 News.
Thank you, Danielle. And a new poll today is showing Democrats maintaining a 10-point advantage over Republican candidates. 50% support for Democrats and nearly 40% support for Republicans. With Dan Osborne running as an independent, we will see if this downward momentum for Republican support actually carries into November's election. We are getting word that 2 more hantavirus-exposed passengers are leaving UNMC. The UNMC saying 8 of the original passengers remain in Omaha, where they will be monitored for symptoms of hantavirus. And just like the other passengers who have gone back to their states to be monitored at their homes, they did not travel back home on a commercial flight. We will keep you posted as we get closer to the end of their 42-day quarantine period.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Very well done by the weather models that we were watching leading up to this storm. They had just bowling right across Interstate 80, along Interstate 80 and into Iowa, and that's exactly what happened. No, there's I-80 right here, and just to the north or to the south, that's where the heaviest of rainfall fell. You're looking at just over an inch in Hastings, almost 2 inches in Aurora. Look at York at 2 1/4, about 1.5 inches in Lincoln, about 1 inch in Omaha, and just over a 1/2 inch in Nebraska City. But it tapered off fast. When I asked for rainfall totals on my Facebook page earlier today, a lot of people from this area down here went nothing, 0. I think the louder people are the ones that don't get any rain versus the ones that get like 2 or 3 inches of rainfall. But it was there was a lot. Now it wasn't only that; it was hail and tornadoes. There was a tornado right here. This was just Nahaka, just northwest of Nebraska City. That was reported by a National Weather Service employee. And then hail, too. About golf ball size hail on the northern fringe of Lincoln. That was one of the bigger ones there. But that wasn't the biggest. In this cluster right here, we had 2 reports of baseball size hail near Minden and Holdridge. 2.75 is how big a baseball is. So this was just a touch bigger at 2.8, just south of Lexington and just southeast of Kearney. So That was a doozy of a storm. 81 for a high today, 84 is your normal. Look at all that sunshine. We had a lot of cloud cover earlier, but now plenty of sunshine on our Barrie Law Cam. 60s, 70s to around 80 degrees. We are at 80 in Wahoo and Lincoln, 81 in Beatrice, 77 in Grand Island and Kearney. I should just stop now, right? I mean, the dew points in the 40s. We don't get that very often. We know those 40s are likely coming to an end soon. The wind speeds out of the northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting to around 30 in some spots. Mostly clear skies. That's kind of if there's a false return on a satellite image, that's what that is right there. It's mainly sunny. So Stormcast, very quiet tonight. A few clouds off to the north and northwest towards Valentine and Chadron. That's it. A few clouds try to roll into south central and southeast Nebraska by Friday afternoon. We have to wait until Saturday. Now, this is where things get interesting and a little cluttered. Models are not on the same page. We'll run through this one first. Scattered showers and thunderstorms right here through early Saturday morning. They fizzle out a little bit, and then a wave right here could be the next. This model doesn't go far enough out, but you can see it's starting. This could be a cold front, and there could be some severe storms in that area. So I go over to the next model, which goes a little bit further out, and it is saying around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That storm chance lingers until 5 or 6 and then quickly moves off to the east as we head into the evening hours. And then an even different model, this is the NAM model, scattered showers and thunderstorms, a big cluster of storms around Lincoln and Omaha through early Saturday morning, and then that pushes off to the south and east. Some of this could be strong to severe, and then that pushes off to the east by Saturday evening, maybe a lingering spot shower around sunset. So lots to kind of figure out with that Saturday time frame, and I know there's a lot going on Saturday afternoon and evening, so we'll do our best to figure out what is going to happen on Saturday. Temperatures tonight in the 50s, highs tomorrow about normal, lower 80s, middle 80s. And we do even cooler on Saturday, I think, with the added cloud cover around 80, then 78 on Sunday, 82 and 86 on Monday and Tuesday, 90s by Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
All right, thank you, Rusty. New tonight, Mayor Lyrian Gaylor-Baird with an announcement for the Prairie Corridor project. She's announcing the city's acquisition of nearly 100 acres of land southwest of Pinehurst Park. This will advance plans for the trail and conservation area they're planning. It's going to stretch from Pinehurst Park to the Spring Creek Prairie Center. Here's the mayor with why this acquisition is important for Lincolnites.
Generations of Lincoln residents have enjoyed and invested in the parks and trails that make our community a desirable place to call home. We protect vital natural resources that improve water quality and help reduce flood risk downstream. And we preserve an important part of Nebraska's natural heritage for future generations.
And with this new land, the project is about 70% secured. Stay with us. We have more for you after the break and more on our 6 o'clock news, including hacked by Russia. That's what Nebraska Representative Don Bacon is claiming happened to him. What information he's afraid of Vladimir Putin could be gaining access to. Stay with us. Tonight.
Mostly clear skies out there right now. Just a little hiccup on the satellite showing what looks like cloud cover. That's not actually cloud cover. It's just very clear skies. And temperatures are going to fall off tonight. Look at that. 40s, middle and upper 40s and 50s, and then middle and upper 50s in eastern Nebraska. But some spots of the state may get a little on the cool side tomorrow, but we all warm up very quickly. Middle and upper 80s, lower middle and upper 80s for about everybody across the state. And we continue to see warm days, a lot of 70s and 80s in that 10-day forecast.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us. World News is coming your way next. We'll be back here at 6 o'clock. See you then.
Come see us at our new South Point location. Locally owned, comfort-made mattress factory, handcrafted, built right here, and backed with a lifetime comfort guarantee.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join. Close.